Hi, my name's Anne Nkune. I'm the founder and director of Bloomsbury Beginnings. We are working with Eastside Primetimers Foundation to help you to start and scale your side hustle. We are doing a series of vlogs based on 7 years of working with hundreds of startup founders, learning from their journeys and from our work with them as consultants to understand what works and the challenges that they have faced on their journeys. So this is our third in our series of tips, and this is around financial modelling and management. It's so critical in terms of your basic infrastructure to have a really good handle on the finances of your enterprise. This doesn't have to be done on a grand scale, but it is really important right from the start to have some kind of system in place to make sure that you're keeping track of your spend and your income. It's also critical to do some modelling so that your business plan, which doesn't have to be a massive tome, we'd really recommend using the Lean Canvas, which is a one-page business planning process, is backed up by some basic financial modelling to understand what you're expecting your organisation to look like in money terms over its first few years of operation. This may be, if it's a side hustle, very small numbers, but you need to make sure that you have on a spreadsheet your incomings, your outgoings, and a basic bookkeeping system to keep track of all of those things. You then also need to project forward to think realistically about your funding and income generation, what you're likely to get from each early adopter group that you've identified through your Lean Canvas process, and what your targets, what your necessary spend will be to ensure that you can keep your operations going. Doing this really helps underline what is needed and what isn't needed, what savings you can make, and how you can do things on a small scale, which still give your customers huge value, great outcomes, but does not lead you to get into a position where you are taking too much risk, or potentially not being adventurous enough or ambitious enough in what you're doing. So Excel will do. You don't need to use a hugely complicated system. If it's an area that you find tricky, make sure that it's your top priority for buying a skill in, or perhaps if you are working on a social enterprise, it's something that you can get outside support with. So that's tip number 3, make sure that you've got a proper handle on the money.